Grant McCasland and the Red Raiders have landed their third commitment of this transfer portal cycle, this time in Minnesota point guard Elijah Hawkins. In today's video, we'll discuss his skill set, how he fits with the Red Raiders, and an updated look at the 2024-2025 Texas Tech men's basketball roster. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. If you're excited about Texas Tech having their primary ball handler in Elijah Hawkins, a Minnesota transfer, all I ask you to do is one thing only, like the video. All right, let's just jump right into this one because this is one of the more exciting players in the portal, in my opinion, if you love passing. And you'll see why here in just a second. He's 5'11", 165, has 1 year of eligibility remaining. But last year up in Minneapolis for the Golden Gophers, he averaged just under 10 points per game, 9.5 to be specific, 3.6 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game. He also shot 36.4% from three. Now, for his size, he is a really good finisher around the rim and can do so with either hand. I know that there's probably somebody out there in the sense that's thinking, a 5'11" point guard, what are we doing? I think you got to remember, Joe Toussaint was 6 foot. I mean, this isn't a drastic change in any kind of way in terms of height, right? But when it comes to overall skill set, this is a drastic change because Elijah Hawkins is one of the best passers in America. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. But he shot 43% last year from the left arc. In these transfer portal videos and even the commitment videos here on the channel, whether that's for Federico or Kevin Overton, I've talked about how some of these guys are better on one side of the floor. Well, Hawkins is better shooting on the left side of the floor. He's an elite passer. I mean, 38% assist rate. I don't know really if I've seen anyone that high in terms of Texas Tech targeting them in the portal. Again, a 38% assist rate is just bonkers. He ranks 67th percentile nationally, which is very good as the primary ball handler in a pick and roll. And we all know Grant McCasland loves a good pick and roll. Now, he also ranks 68th percentile nationally in spot-up shots, 78th percentile nationally on guarded jumpers, which is something that's very important considering, again, he's 5'11". He's not going to have the height advantage on a lot of guys. He's going to have to make and take a lot of contested shots. He also ranks 80th percentile in dribble handoffs. Again, that's him navigating and having a high basketball IQ and using his lower leverage point to get around screens and create space for him and his teammates, whether that's in a pick and roll or other situations in the half court offensively. He's super patient in the pick and roll. I mean, again, this is the primary reason that I think Grant McCasland and crew really targeted him was the fact that, yeah, those pick and roll numbers don't jump off the page, right? They don't wow you necessarily, but go watch the tape and we'll have his highlights down in the description and in the comments below if you want to go check it out after this video. But he looks really good in the pick and roll. And it's one of those deals where, yes, he did rank 45 in terms of the percentile, 45th percentile nationally as a ball screen handler. But I also think that Minnesota in some sets asked him to do some things that are really out of his, let's just say, strengths. Because I think that sometimes these smaller guards get asked to do some things that bigger guards are more accustomed to doing. And that's not to say that he can't do it. I just think that there's other things that he's better at in the pick and roll, and I think Grant McCasland and crew will see that. Now, overall, again, a lot of people ask me, RC, what is your take on Texas Tech landing these guys? Overall, he's a great lead guard, in my opinion. I'm excited to see Elijah Hawkins run this Texas Tech offense because you look at what Grant McCasland has done in the past with smaller guards. I know that the name that jumps out to people is Perry at UNT. Joe Toussaint was a smaller guard too, people. He was listed at 6 foot. He was probably 5'11", if we're being honest about it. Now, obviously had the physicality aspect of it, but Grant McCasland in his career has had great success with smaller guards and ones that really thrive in the pick and roll. Elijah Hawkins is a guy that thrives in a heavy pick and roll offense, and I think he will really thrive in a Grant McCasland pick and roll offense. So he's that one that will help the really the playmaking on this team and really take that load off of D5, Kevin Overton, Chance McMillan. He will be the guy that really creates for the Red Raiders and ones that create space and open look opportunities. So I'm really excited about Elijah Hawkins. And again, if you're excited about Texas Tech finding their lead guard in the portal, simply like the video. That's all I'm going to ask you to do in today's video. Okay, let's jump into the roster as it stands right now after the Elijah Hawkins commitment. You got D5, Chance McMillan, the two other transfer portal commitments in Kevin Overton, Federico, or Fetty squared for those that care. You got Elijah Hawkins, Kerwin Walton, Devin Cambridge, Ameli Elahu, and then two walk-ons in Jack Francis and Jazz Henderson Jr. As it stands right now after the Elijah Hawkins commitment, the Red Raiders have 5 open scholarships. In my estimation right now, I think it's very likely that Texas Tech has already landed 2 starters in the portal. One for sure in Elijah Hawkins. The other one I think is for sure 2 in Kevin Overton. And then potentially 3 if Federico is the starting center. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I think that it's possible. And either way, Federico is a great second big off the bench. I mean, he's fantastic. So I think worst case scenario right now, if you're Texas Tech, you landed 2 starters in the portal. As it stands right now, Elijah Hawkins and Kevin Overton, I'd be hard pressed to see them not be starters for Texas Tech. But the big thing is you have 5 open scholarships left. That's going to give you a lot of wiggle room in the portal, especially later on where maybe you see some of these grad transfers really come in and everything like that and really have an opportunity late in the process, if you're the Red Raiders, to add a key addition or 2, much like they did in year number 1 of Grant McCasland, where they added Devin Cambridge and then Joe Toussaint. Joe Toussaint did not commit, if you remember, until July 4th. Obviously, some circumstances happened in West Virginia, but things like that happen across college basketball all the time. So to have a little bit of leeway and leverage is always a good thing. So right now, 5 open scholarships after the addition of Elijah Hawkins, the Minnesota point guard transfer. The Red Raiders have their lead guard, at least in my estimation, in his commitment. He is really, really good in the pick and roll and, simply put, an elite passer. I mean, just unbelievable assist rate, 38% assist rate. Not very many guys in America have that kind of skill set. Also averaged 9.5 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, and was 5'11", nearly averaging 4 rebounds per game. You'll take that. Oh, and by the way, he shoots pretty well from the outside as well. 36.4% from 3 last year for the Golden Gophers. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. I am RC Maxfield, reminding you just a couple of things. First and foremost, like the video if you're excited about Elijah Hawkins committing to the Scarlet and Black. And again, you got your lead guard if you're a Texas Tech fan. So like the video if you're excited about that. If you want to stay in the know on everything portal for Texas Tech men's basketball, like the video and then do these 2 other steps for me. Hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans here on YouTube. We are almost to 10,000 strong, 140 away. Let's bump those numbers up and be the first Texas Tech fan community here on YouTube to reach 5 digits in terms of the subscribers. Come on, this is all you guys. I'm just happy to be keeping y'all in the know. So help me get there. And then one more thing too. If you want to stay in the know even more as soon as things happen, because let's face it, I try and keep y'all up to date as quick as possible with these videos, but life happens. Now, over on the Scarlet and Black Insider, we're posting things right away to keep you in the know on everything Texas Tech men's basketball, whether it's me, Austin Massey, or Jacob Harris. It is the fastest growing community on the internet today in the Texas Tech space. So head on over to the scarletandblackinsider.com to join that community. And hey, hopefully we're talking about a few other commitments here in the not too distant future. But right now, what we're going to talk about is Elijah Hawkins committing to the Scarlet and Black and Texas Tech getting their lead guard. I'm RC Maxfield. I'll catch you next time here on the Back to 12 podcast channel.